You want to begin by opening your project file, double click on it, and it'll open Premiere Pro. So you'll see your video. What you're going to do is click on the T for the text tool, drag a box, and write your text on there. Okay, click on Essential Graphics on the upper left-hand box and highlight the text. If you scroll down in the Essential Graphics box, you can change your font, you can change your size, you can leave it whatever you want. I just like this style of font. You can change the size. I'm just doing this to show you. You can pick a size that you like, and this is where you can center it or make it to the left. I'm going to add a drop shadow just so that it stands out a little bit. These are the controls for the drop shadow here. I'm going to make it a little bit darker. You click on the color box and you can click OK. And now you have a bit of a drop shadow on your text. The text layers can be drug, shortened, trimmed, just like anything else. Leaving the text tool still open, you can click and drag. This one, when I dragged it, I could not leave the box the right shape, so I'm going to adjust. If you click on the selection tool, which is the little pointer arrow, and then click on the text, you will get a blue box, and you can drag the edges and change the size of it. Then I'm going to trim the video shorter so that it fits. Go to my next clip. This is a medium shot. Click on the T for the text tool again. Drag the box, and this one is a medium shot. And again, it didn't drag the box big enough, so I'm going to click on the selection tool, click on the white dot, and drag the box out until the word shows up. And then you can click on the box and drag it around to where you want. Text tool again. I want to change the size, but first I have to remember to select the words so that it knows what to change. I'll let you decide what size you want. On the timeline, click and drag the text layer and then change the clip so that it's at the right length. This is a close-up. Repeat, click and drag the text box. And type in your text close-up. I'm going to think about changing the size, but you can leave it. Drag the clip, the text clip, shorten it so that it fits. Go to our next thing. This is another medium shot. Click and drag your text box. A lot of it's just repeat. You drag your text box and make sure you have the text tool chosen. And I'm going to trim it the right size. I'm going to change the size of the text box. Remember, you click on the selection tool, which is the arrow, move it around, and you can change the size of the box. Last up, this is a close-up. Go back to the text tool. Drag your box. Type in close-up. Next, I'm going to adjust it on the timeline. Change the length of the clip, trim it, make it a little bit longer. I like to always go back and review my work. Just do a nice quick review. Watch it. Okay, next, we're going to add some transitions. In the lower left-hand box, you click on Effects, go to Video Transitions. My favorite is really just the basic dissolve. Open up the dissolve folder, click and drag the transition you want onto the line between two clips. And there you go. I'm going to drag the transition over the text as well, so that way it dissolves not just the video, but also the text. I'm going to continue and drag this over. You click and drag the transition onto the line between the two clips, and that will provide your transition. Just so you can see what some of the other transitions are, they're labeled. You might have to play around with them, and that's what I'm just doing now. I'm going to pick something that looks interesting and put it between the two clips and hit play and see what it looks like. That's okay. I wouldn't use that normally, but it works for me for this. Going to try another transition, drag it over between the two clips, and watch it, review. I always watch and review. It takes 3-4 seconds for you to make an edit and then review it. You should always be doing that just so you can know what you're doing. I'm going to add a wipe here. I don't know what this one is, but it seems interesting, so I'm going to just put it there and see if I like it. Review the edit. I wouldn't normally use that transition in a normal video, but today while I'm experimenting, I would go ahead and do that. Next, you're going to add a title screen. This is a little bit extra here. Click on text. You're going to do some credits. Draw a nice big box and begin writing your credits. You can put it in the center, type in credits, give the title, camera, and then write the person's name. Next, you need to add a roll to it, and this is pretty simple, but it's easy to miss. Deselect the text, and then down in the bottom left-hand side, it says roll. And you can click on this blue slider on the right-hand side, and it'll show you what that looks like. Okay, so go back to the selection tool because the box isn't big enough. And so if you click on that and drag the box, you'll get more space to write. So in order to write, you need to go back and select your text tool. I'm going to fix the new line here. Go down some more. Editor is Mr. Sapp. I need some more space, so I'm going to come back to the selection tool, go down a little bit more, and give myself some more room. Choose the text tool, producer, Mr. Sapp. Okay, use the selection tool. I'm going to move the clip for the text for the rolling credits. Going to watch that edit. It goes way too fast. That's because it's trying to roll all of these credits into a 5-second clip. So I'm going to drag it out to 10 seconds. And there you go. There's your credits, and they move much slower. And then you'll continue with your export. Now we're done. We're going to export. If you notice, the box in the upper left-hand corner has a blue box around it. Actually, the timeline box needs to be selected. So if you click the timeline box, it has that blue line around it. Now you can export that. The computer needs to know what you're exporting. So click on File, Export, and then Media. There's a simple setting you need to change. You change to H.264. And it should save this for future videos. So this would be the one time you have to use it. Click on the title to change the name. We're going to change this to Library Video, just so that we know what it is. And you want to make sure that it's getting exported to the proper place. You want to make sure it gets exported to our library folder. Next, you might have to drag the window up because at the bottom are the directions for what you need to do. This little window is a little bit too big for a screen, so we're going to adjust the size and then click on export. And since it's so short, it should be a relatively quick process. There we go. You have exported your video. The little blue text will tell you, go back to your folder, look for your video, double click on it, and watch it. You should always double, triple check your work just to make sure it's there. And there you go. You've edited a simple video using Premiere Pro.